it's just going to be a full smash Power BI.
Yeah, you'll need no instruction.
All right. Well, my assignment, Chef Gordon Gravity, starts at a coffee shop competing with local establishments. So I need to find a list of shops, display them on a map, built on violation codes. Look at the number of violation codes by banner as a pie chart. I don't mind pie charts really. And then as a stretch, we'll try and figure out who was worse in the last 12 months, right? Cross contamination, flying incident. Okay. So let's get these things loaded to Fabian first. So there we go. And go to C drone. Yeah. So I think we're going to need both of these files, but we'll start with this one. Let's see what we get. Okay. RBI sits and doesn't respond. Have you got some malformed CSVs in here that's going to blow up? RBI, no, okay, here we go. Right, so we've got some shops, inspections. Okay, this looks like it's in sort of reasonable condition. Latitudes and longitudes that are definitely weird. That is wrong. We'll have to fix that. What else? Thanks. Right, well, let's sort out this column a little bit and make it look a little bit nicer. Just make it go. Format as centralized. And we see a few things that are wrong, like donata. So I'm going to just fix some of these as we go. Donata should not be donata, it should be donuts. Hopefully the rest will be okay. All right, so we've got some boroughs, we've got street addresses, phone numbers that look vaguely like phone numbers. Okay. Oh, there's some 1900 dates. Lovely. Gonna replace those with blanks. Reactions, violations. Is it critical? That's interesting. Reading dates, all of those. Should probably make these dates actually date formats. I don't know if we're going to use those or not though. But latitude and longitude, they're definitely weird. This is New York City. I don't know what latitude and longitude it should be. I'm going to assume it's 40 latitude. So how do I fix that? Well, let's split it up. We'll do a transform split column by number of characters. Once. Recombine it by merging these columns. Your dot separator. Can I make it a dot? That's right. Again, this is going to be okay, it's better. But let's get rid of the dots. Those. And then, oh no, whoops, that's not that then. When I replace it when that's the only thing in it, actually type still contents. And I'll tell it it's a number. That's my number. That's a more sensible latitude. Now longitude, I have no idea what longitude New York would be. 73? How many digits is this? I'll do focus on it. 73?
73 is good.
Yeah, okay, good, thank you. I would have really struggled. Well, it would have come out at something different, pretty obviously. Okay, again, I'll do one of those. What happened there? Oh, no, I don't want to. Oh, no, sorry. You did say, you said minus 70, right?
Yes, the minus is correct as well.
Yeah, okay, cool. Merge it back together again. Again. Okay, that look like some sensible latitude.
So can I ask one question quick
Yeah.
on the split merge maneuver? So you didn't go for the using locale. Is that because you expect there to be dots and commas in there as well?
No, it's just the first thing that came to mind.
Okay.
I thought about trying to use the column by example and trying to get the AI to do it.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
But I figured if it got it wrong, it would be quicker to get it, just to be explicit with it.
All right. Good.
Yeah, that could have worked as well. Okay, so just want to check this. Okay, list of shops, display on map, built on violation period. Okay, let's have a look at violation code and period and make sure we've got those in good order. Some of these don't have violation codes. Maybe they're without violations. That's good. Okay, but then we've got violation codes. Yeah, I see no violations reported. So I assume the ones that are blank didn't have any violations. Okay, what was the other data that we got? Am I going to need to pull that in? Okay, well, let's bring that in. We'll tell us a bit more about it. Or not? Okay. Yeah, nice. Okay, that's good. Useful thing to have as a lookup table. But we need to do the use first row as headers. These look like nice headers. They look like very nice headers. Good. I'll do just violation code and summary is probably what we need. Oh, hang on. These are duplicates. So this is not just a dimension table. Okay. All right. Well, I'm going to load it. So I'm a firm believer in get stuff into a visual and then you'll figure out what the problem is.
The one thing is, spotting that there are multiple keys, and another thing is loading it, knowing that there are multiple keys, right? So if you didn't spot it and you still loaded it, you would probably end up somewhere where you didn't want. So that's a nice spot.
We'll see. There's only two tables. I'll do it in DAX. Aha! Okay, good. There was an error. Excellent. I was expecting that. That's at some point. What was the problem? Okay. I had a weird phone number. Okay, great. Didn't convert that to number. Wow, I'm surprised. Well, that looks like a completely erroneous number. So it's just going to tell it to ignore that. How do I say get rid of this? Just ignore it. Errors.
My favorite feature.
Just not treat it as a number. I mean, we're not going to do any aggregations on the phone number anyway, so I'll make it text. What's in this one? Can we just fix this? Convert to number. Well, I don't want you to convert it to a number. Why are we trying to convert it to a number again? I see inspections. Oh, did it try and make it a number earlier on? Oh. Surely it would have fixed that. Change time. Okay. Number. Thanks. Running up against time, so moving on to want to see. Okay, so let's get a list of shops. Oh my gosh, they all had terrible names, didn't they? What was it? Camus was the name of it. Was the thing with the shop name? DBA. What do we call it? DBA. That was a silly thing to leave out. Shop.
To be honest, I didn't change the columns. It's just the way they are.
Okay, list of shops. I'm displaying on the map as well. Okay, Dunkin' and Dunkin' Donuts. Okay, maybe let's do a little grouping of these so that we can just combine those, because these two are obviously the same. These two are kind of the same. I want to do a map. Okay, so let's do. Oh my gosh, have I got a weird build where I've got a new pane but I haven't got turned on. Oh, my visual pane's disappeared. Oh, this is a problem, isn't it? I wasn't expecting this to happen. I wasn't expecting to have to deal with a new build of Power BI and do this. I didn't realize I didn't push it. Well, this is fun. You'll get a new preview of a new feature as well that we're working on. Who knows what else we're going to do?
This session has everything.
Oh, nice.
Okay, so latitude. Do you want that? Latitude. Oh, what? Why is longitude not a number? Okay. See what breaks when I change this to number. I'm sure I told it to be a number before. Oh, okay. Couldn't automatically convert it. I must have done something wrong. There. Have I run out of time yet?
Yeah, just about.
Just want to change that to be a number one. Not a sum. Oh, of course, there's some zeros. I should have known. All right, I'll go and filter those out. So again, tell me if I need to stop, and we'll let one of the other guys have a go. I'll keep doing this in the background.
I'll give you 2 minutes more where we can browse your monitor, and then we'll move on to assignment B.
Filtering.
Just for the record, I think you have done very well.
Thank you. I'm not sure.
You found most of the issues, and I've seen some new ways to actually solve some of the issues with. So at least I learned something from this session.
Oh,
So that's good.
I need to join this.
So if you want to you continue in the background. We can
Yeah, I
circle
will.
back to you, and then head on to assignment B.
Yeah, that's me.
Is that you, Nicola?
Yeah.
Okay.
So let me
Well
start
done, Will.
sharing.
Thank you.
Okay. Can you see the screen?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. So here are my requirements. So food writer, Night Gala Clausen, looking to expand and wants to find a suitable shop for takeover. Kensington, Chelsea, takeaway sandwich shop, confidence in major improvements needed, urgent improvements needed. Hygiene, major improvements needed, urgent improvements needed. List of shops, display on map, pie chart, filters on score, descriptor, confidence, business type, and how do you pronounce hygiene or hygiene?
Hygiene.
Hygiene. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Then yeah, fine. So
Just as
too
if you
far-
met someone named Jean, right? Hygiene.
Okay. Okay. So I have two files. This one, Kensington Chelsea hygiene rating, which basically contains most of the data as far as I see. So ID, local authority, business ID. What's in there? Okay. Business name. Business type, fine. Business type ID, okay. Then address line 1. That's probably something very dirty. Postcode, missing values. Okay. Fine. And rating value, rating key, rating date, authority's name, hygiene structural, confidence in management, rating inspection, to give attitude. Oh yeah, fine. Yeah. Attitude. Okay, just 1, 3. Okay, fine. Then here, score descriptors. Reference. Let's start with this one maybe. This one and this one I don't need. Let's create forms for this. This column and don't aggregate. Confidence here. 15. Number. Okay. And this one, List of shops. This is empty completely. So let's empty.
So if there's something you want to ask, just ask away. I can answer about the data.
Ah, okay. Yeah. So
You are allowed to ask questions since you're not a Microsoft employee.
okay.
I mean, mine's all in French, by the way. So
Sorry?
I can't even understand mine. I just looked at mine and it's in French.
Oh, it's funny you should say that. Because you're getting a French file, right?
I got a French file. And I'm like the worst linguistic person being from England. We don't speak any other languages. Oh, dear.
Okay. So I need to figure out what to do with those blank things. So take away sandwich shop, confidence, tuning, confidence, including type of hygiene filters. And code is origin count, business name, details, business type.
So I think I'm going to give you a hint.
Yeah.
On the rating value,
Mm-hmm.
you see a number,
Yeah.
and that correlates if you
To
browse
this one.
Yes, so I think you've managed to skip away the ID. From the score descriptors.
Yes, I don't have ID.
No, okay. So just be sure you can, link up the fact data to the score descriptors.
Mm-hmm. Rating value and okay, so I need only major improvement and urgent improvement necessary. So I need only okay. Aha, but the numbers are different. Here 30 and here is 25. Okay, and what I have here in confidence and hygiene. Yeah. I'm not interested in structural, basically, just in confidence and hygiene. So, because I'm interested only in major improvements needed and urgent, those are in confidence 20 and 30, in hygiene 20 and 25. So, but that needs to be, okay, that needs to be filters on score descriptor. Okay, so that should be in the slicers, right?
Yes.
Okay. So then I don't remove anything. Then this rating value. This, yeah, but this rating value doesn't correlate to this one, right?
No, not the rating value.
No,
You need to look at the, there's a specific number for each of the three. Hygiene, structural, and confidence and management.
Confidence, okay, yeah. Okay, so basically I'm not interested in structural at all. So I will remove it, it's easier than to follow. And for those null values, those are awaiting inspection. Okay, so for them, I'm not also interested to see them. The other way around. Okay. confidence here now. I have all the values. Good. Okay. Latitude, longitude missing. Postcode is missing. Okay, let's try with some examples. If I put here just one. Okay. Let's start building and then see what happens.
I didn't plan for this one to happen, but yeah, that's a nice twist.
Let's see. So it says list of shops. So business name, right? It's Unstructured, so filters on score, descriptor, confidence, business type, and hygiene. Just a second, just to check something. There is no ID here.
Yeah, I mean, I think if subordinates participation would be good, actually.
Is there like do you need to create a relationship on hygiene?
Yeah, I have it. But then for confidence, I don't have any
what was
IDs.
the actual output you need for this thing?
So basically, I need to show all the shops, to provide a slicer on confidence, business type, and hygiene.
Oh, I see. Confidence. Okay.
Confidence is, yeah, will be probably.
So Eric is providing a tip in the chat. So merge the score description table with the 3 columns in the hygiene table. We lost Nicola, I guess. Nicola's picture is frozen on my end. Are you reading me, Nicola?
So hang on. Okay.
No, I can obviously screenshot.
Oh, it's come back. Okay.
Okay.
Going in.
Okay. Okay. So let's score descriptors.
Here we see his disk again.
Yeah, and merging on should work, and then you can replace it. You're gonna have to do for each column, right? So there's one for hygiene and there's one for.
And then merge.
But maybe before you do that, you should have a look at how the score descriptors originally looked.
Here?
Yes, and before you pivoted.
Okay.
So it's all kind of a mashup between.
So if I just do a merge on score without pivoting, maybe. I'm not sure. Let's try.
Okay.
Let's try. So if I now do merge, but not this one here. That is how this looks like. Description, score, and score category. Okay. It's on hygiene, but I also need it for confidence.
So you need to map the ID column on the screen.
But
Yeah,
actually,
but
that's not the solution either. So you have to actually score descriptors. You have to split up into 3 and map them. Because the key in the hygiene rating is the score and not the ID. So the ID is misleading.
Yeah, this one is useless, I would say. ID. Yeah.
Maybe not useless, but
yeah. I mean,
it's misleading that it's there.
Yeah. I can't use it for merging or anything else. But if I merge on hygiene, so I also need to merge on.
But I think you need to have 3 copies of score descriptors, 1 for each category.
Yeah, for each merging. Yeah. Okay. Oh, never mind. Let's do just quick and dirty. So here I'll need confidence and this one. Score. Okay. But what I achieve now? Confidence, engine structural.
But both score descriptor tables you have or queries you have right now contains the same data. So it will map on score 5 3 times. I think you need to filter your score descriptors for category before you do the merge.
Yeah. That's a great advice. Yeah, exactly. You're right. So here I just need hygiene. Okay, and here I just need.
So with that clue, you have a little bit of work to do, and I think we need to kick off Rishi in order to
Okay,
get him
sure,
started
sure.
with
I'll
his
continue
20
working
minutes,
in
and
the
we'll
background.
circle back to you all.
Cool.
So Rishi, could you please share your screen?
Yeah.
And
So yeah, but yeah, I'm in the French, so I haven't actually. I had a quick look at the data. I wasn't quite sure what to do with it, to how to translate it. If anyone actually knows how to translate data in Power Query, let me know. I don't know if it's possible. I know in cognitive services you can detect language, but I don't think you can do a translation. I don't think it makes it that easy. But anyway, my assignment is I've got an artist who's looking for a gallery to host the next exhibition in Paris, and she wants a list of venues that accepts paid events. Filter on audience, accessibility keywords. Now, my approach with all of this is always to try and understand, for start, before you put anything into Power BI, is to try and think about what you want the report to answer. And also to think about what that data model looks like and what numerical values you actually have by what attributes, because more importantly as well, it actually allows you to identify what's noise, because in this data file, there's a lot of columns in here, and it's just the fact that it's in a foreign language just makes it even more noisy. It's also just seems like there's a lot of columns there we don't need. So I use this kind of scoping template. So I'm going to talk through more of what I do than actually do work today. But so what's the problem? Wants to know which exhibitions, venues, in Paris, accept paid, and find the right one. Right. So key questions: how many venues in Paris are accept paid events? That was the kind of key question. Which events are these? And you kind of want to see an image of these and things like that. So there isn't actually very much numerical data there. So let me just show you what that data looks like. But anyway, there isn't much numerical data there. I just had a look, but there is. So maybe we want to say a flag to say, does it accept a paid event? So let's just think about a little bit about that data, but there's not. It's all attributes. It's all attributes of venues. So so maybe we could have a flag, and that could be our fact table. So what do we actually want in our fact table? So if we think about our fact table, does it accept paid events? What are the start and end dates? There are dates in there. I think there are start and end dates of when it's open or something, maybe. Maybe let's just go with that. And then we had specifically in here some questions around what do we want to view and filter by, audience accessibility keywords. So I'm just going to firstly actually just, so it's a CSV file with lots of lines of noise. One of the things I want to be able to do then is actually just filter everything else out. I'm actually just going to end up with one fact table that's got venue and a flag, and then maybe some start and end dates. I have a date table, obviously. So I'll put date in there as well. Date tables are usually pretty common in every single one that we work with. And then we want to have maybe as dimensions, audience accessibility keywords. Actually, probably that would be facts, because they're going to be quite a few in there as well. So let's just work out what we could do with the data. So I do have actually 14 Power BI desktop files open at the moment. I've got a new laptop, so hopefully this will be okay. So let's just start with putting in the data. So again, when you bring in data, actually, do you know what I'm going to do? I'm actually just going to upload this. I'm going to actually I'm going to do this properly as well to show you actually. I'm going to upload it anywhere for now. I'm just going to upload it to Teams, because so when you're working with CSV files and things like this, don't do it to your machine. It will just create technical debt. So don't use the folder connector, and don't use or the Excel CSV connector. What Microsoft should do, looking at Will here, when they when they give you an option to let's see. So when they give you an option to connect to an Excel file, they should ask you where your Excel file is. If it is on your machine, then it's on your machine, great. But if it's actually on Teams or OneDrive, that's a much better place to do it. So let me just do that. I'm going to open it, put it in Teams, and now you can access it via the SharePoint connector. Let's give it a second. Yeah. And now I've got that file on Teams, just in any Teams channel. So now I can open it. There. And what we need to do is take everything, take the root URL. So now we can go into Power Query, and let's first of all just create the parameter, the SharePoint URL. We'll put it as type text and give it a value for that. So now we've got our SharePoint URL. Now, rather than connecting to this Excel file directly, we can use the SharePoint folder connector. So this is just going to be much better because anyone who's got access to this now will be able to refresh it. So, and then here with the site URL, we just choose the parameter. And this is basically a staging query. So we could go to transform data and then just go to combine, especially if you're needing a whole load of random data. And here is going to be staging query. So I'm going to call it staging, and it's SharePoint files. And disable load on this. And then reference this to be able to then give us now our venue data. And again, this is actually a staging table. We're not going to reload this data directly into our data model. So just reference that, disable load, and here now we can apply some filters. So now if we filter the folder path, or actually file name, let's just filter the file name here because it's just one file. I need to figure out what the file name was again. God, even the file names in French. Okay, Q. Okay, text filters begins with, let me just do that. Hopefully there'll only be one that I have that begins with Q. Now, there you go. And now I can just remove other columns, click on binary, and this actually just gives me the venue data. So now if I want to create any fact and dimension tables, I've got a starting point. So I can just reference this query to create any facts and dimensions. So let me just do that. So now let's just create a fact table. So I always prefix my fact tables with underscore, so they appear at the top. So let's just call this venue fact. And there isn't really many facts here, but the only ones I can really see are going to be the dates, potentially, that will link it to our date dimension table. And there is a field here that says something about, you see, this is all just noise. There's longitude and latitude, so we are going to need that. I'll put that into a separate dimension table. I think, that a lot of these are not true dimensions because venue is a dimension in itself, but again, it still makes sense to, I think of your data as a star schema. And there was a field here which said, I think it said payant or gratuitor. Okay, I'm not going to talk French. It said paid or free, I think, in French. Oh dear.
You got perfect.
Have I? Okay.
The pre. Oh no, it was there. You had it, and then it's there.
You can use the choose column.
I was going to do choose columns. Yeah, exactly. That's much easier. Yeah, there you go. Again, another
yeah.
Always just use choose columns. Always use choose columns. Yeah, there you go. Right. So, but just my idea what the dates. So date, start and end date or something. And there was one there that said something about access. Do you remember what it was? Yeah, this is it.
PMR is disabled, and Voyant is for blind people, and the intendant is, I think, for hearing. So
so that's accessibility the PMR stuff. Okay, cool. So
yes.
You do want the accessibility, but let's
3 levels. Yes.
Okay, fine. Let's put accessibility in there as well. We'll just put some flags. Yeah. So let's put some flags in there. So then, what was the one that had whether it was paid or accepted?
Keep going down. It's called type to pre.
Type to pre. There you go. Okay. So now, so I mean, there's a few ways we could do this, right? So I mean, ones and zeros are all good. So actually, let's just replace values. Let's just do ones, zeros as our flags. So let's just have this as our fact table with some dates, and we'll check the dates in a minute. But I think it's actually picked it up, even though it's French dates with a time zone, right? So it's picked it up, I think. But let's just do here transform, replace values. So let's replace nulls or zeros. It's always a good idea to actually not just have nulls, because you never know whether those nulls in your report then are actually because they're genuine nulls or because a few referential integrity and things like that. And that didn't work. Right, so let me put this all to text for a start. And now let me try and replace those because it didn't pick up null as their actual value. So they're not actual true nulls, they're just maybe text as null or something. That seemed to work a bit better. And here I'm going to do, so let me just do accessibility. What was booleans again?
It's the blind, or I'm not sure what it's called in English. So visibly impaired.
Okay, and then this one, let's just again just do some replace values, and we'll replace it parent with 1, so it's accepts paid, and gratitude with, could have done this as a custom column or conditional column as well, with 0. So now we've got our venues and we've got some flags, right? So is it accessible for blind and hearing, and does it accept paid events? So that's our kind of flag data, if you like. Now let's go in and reference this again and start to just put in some particular attributes that we want. So actually, let's just do, this is our venue geography, maybe. Let's do that. And these are all just going to be actually one-to-ones, really, in our relationship model, because we don't have many values in here, unless we start to split out some stuff on keywords and things like that, which we might do. But let's just at least get the stuff that we want. And again, let's just do choose columns this time. And let's just choose our, we've got ID. So this is the field that's going to be our relationship. And then let's just we'll do address, postal code, town, and there's a longitude, latitude here. So let's now do that. Okay, it's picked up those. This is now our longitude and latitude. So let's just split that. So we can do transform and then split column by delimiter and just do it by a comma. Okay, interesting, we've got 3. Right, okay, let's ignore that for now. It seems to longitude, latitude. So that's going to help us with our mapping. That should give us everything we want in terms of our venue. So we've got an ID to link back into. Say it's going to be one-to-one in our fact, but that's fine for now. I mean, if we want to have another fact table that's got keywords and things like that, then it'll be a one-to-many. That's fine. Let's just again pick out what we want in terms of, just see if there's anything else that we want to actually really capture as slice and dice fields, essentially. So let's do the keywords actually. Let's do keywords. And let's do it as another fact table. Right, so now we've got, we definitely need the URLs and stuff actually. Actually, do you know, let me just do venue details. It's a core kind of dimension. And again, it's not really a true dimension, right? It's just, I'm just splitting out the fields to make this a bit easier. So we've got the title, URL. So this is our key venue details. I could have put this in the fact table. Again, it's not really a fact table, but description. Actually, no, description, let me get rid of later. I'm just going to put ones that I don't have to split. I don't know what any of this stuff means, so don't need description of date. URL images, we definitely want images. Yeah, let's do our alternative text. Guessing that might be relevant as a core detail. Yeah, let's. Again, I'm assuming all the rest of this is noise for the moment. Audience is actually really interesting. So I know we need that. That was definitely one of the things in title event. Let's just remove other columns. Yeah, cool. Okay, so now we've got our core venue details. And again, we've got those in a kind of table. And let's just do that one more time. And now let's start to do things like keywords and things like that. So, venue geography, sorry, it was venue keywords. And I think this is going to be a many, actually. So let's do those. Okay, so now description. and I think we had a keyword somewhere here as well. So occurrences, somewhere here. Transport, I don't care about that. There was something about keywords, but I tell you what, let's just leave those two for now.
Select the go to column or select columns.
Right, so there is HTML tags in here. There's a lot of HTML tags. And actually what I can do is, let's just actually, when you come up with HTML tags, you're like, surely someone's done this before, right? So Power Query, remove HTML tags. That's always, rather than trying to write it yourself. And I'm sure someone has. I think I've seen this. Here you go. Chris Webb has done it. There you go.
Of course, Chris Webb.
Of course, if Chris Webb has done it, he always just gives you the code to copy and paste as well, right? So, here's an example of how to do it. Done it. That's extracting URLs. Is that it? That doesn't look right. Okay, maybe it does. I thought I had some other ones in there as well. I had P, I had some other tags in there, but let's just give it a try. So we get some code, blank query. Put it in there. And it's not actually a function. This wasn't a function you gave us, was it? No. Is it output as query? Okay, let me just see actually. I think there might be another one. There must be another one actually that's.
We have about 5 minutes left
Sure.
of your time.
That's a function. So again, just randomly copied and pasted on the internet, but there is, for the most part, the HTML tags are all the same, and actually, yeah. So now this is, let's just, if this doesn't work, at least you get the idea of how you would do this, right? So now we've got our venue keywords, and now we can add invoke custom function, and we've got our custom function there to remove tags on description. Cool. And now we can actually let's try this text analytics thing. Let's just see if this actually does give us keywords. So, this text analytics is all the Azure machine learning stuff that you could do as long as you've got people. So there's definitely detect language in there, but I mean, I don't need it to tell me that it's French. I can tell that it's French. Extract key phrases. Yeah, I think this is going to be French, actually. Okay, well, maybe you'll pick it up. Hopefully you'll pick it up. Let's see. I've used this before, so I don't know if it will. And hopefully it recognizes it's in French and it'll give you some keywords. Okay, data privacy. Anytime anything asks you about security or privacy, you always just say ignore and accept.
So I've got it.
Like when you read terms and conditions of websites, everyone just like accept. Give Google all my information.
Oh, I just noticed in the chat. So just saying there's a specific column called mots-clés, which means keywords.
There you go. I knew I saw something like that. I was looking for something like that. Yeah, I did see it when I was scrolling through it. But anyway, if you didn't have that, here's how you might get some keywords. And now we've got some keywords for each of the columns, so that's fine. So choose columns. I think we just need ID and key phrases. So now this is our venue keywords. So this is like a one-to-many now. Okay, cool. So now we can close and apply. And then we've got our relationships essentially between our facts, keywords, and we've got geography and venue details. So now we can then start to count how many venues we've got that accept paid, that are accessible. We can slice and dice by the venue details, and then we can also pick out those that have keywords. Although this would have to be probably bi-directional, I think, to make this work properly, because we want to be able to filter back on those. So not the neatest data model. I really think actually if I was doing this properly, I'd probably want to start to ask questions around more details around what we can capture about the venues, and think about how we want to shape that data model to be able to answer something a little bit more intuitively.
Okay, so while you load the data and try to set up something report-like, should we circle back to Will if you have something completed, and then Nicola afterwards? Perhaps. Do you want to share anything, Will?
Okay, here we go. So I managed to get a few things onto a map. There's some weird latitudes and longitudes that get plotted out over in New Jersey. And when I select them, it looks like it's not matching up, but hey, I don't know what the latitude and longitude should be, so I'm going to assume that's just bad data. Could filter it all out, but I've got a last 12 months date filter on here, which was part of the stretch assignment. They wanted to know the New York City copies, which one was worst in the last 12 months on these three things. So then I went and grabbed the OKViz smart filter, because that was the quickest way of finding and filtering to these line secondary protection and cross-contamination. It took me a bit of searching through all the columns in the data to find which one actually had that information in it. And then I'm doing account violation codes so that we are looking just at the inspections where there were violations rather than inspections where.
Yes. Okay.
So yeah, I guess if I do this and I just select New York City. Oh, I don't know. I changed the boroughs. So I don't know what boroughs count as New York City. Silverton. I was like Brooklyn and Manhattan, New York City. These are all New York City, aren't they? So it's limits. So I guess I want to filter out these. Can I do that like this? Yeah. I'm going to go with that. So who was worse? Dunkin' Donuts was worst. Starbucks and then Think Coffee. And 3. Okay.
All right.
I
think you did brilliantly, Will. This was very very close to what I imagined up front. I mean, you saw the Scrabble up front, and this is looking very much like that. There were some issues in the assignment or in the data that you didn't catch. Some of the stores are in there multiple times.
I had to deal with the dates. Because some of the dates were in the
different formats.
Different formats, so I had to specify which variant it was, and I couldn't tell whether they were all in the same format because it's like some of them might have been composed, but you can't tell. You kind of have to assume that they're all in the same format.
It was a revelation to me, at least, when doing these data sets, that sometimes the Power BI just eats up different formats of dates. So that was a nice revelation. But there are multiple inspections. So if you kind of do measures on top of this data, you would have to maybe take the latest inspection and so on in order to get the true and current answer.
I see. So you only care about the latest inspection. That's an interesting one. Yeah.
I mean, 20 minutes, you're forgiven for not stumbling on that. So, but everything else you picked up, and I think the way that you attacked the file initially was inspiring. I haven't done it like that. I was more like Nicola, maybe, in terms of that. So you use some features in Power BI Desktop that I haven't been using the same way, at least.
Cool.
So very nice. Thank you very much. Nicola, you want to share something?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so definitely pie chart is not the answer for this business question. So basically what I have is 3 slicers on the top, business type, confidence, and hygiene. Mm-hmm. So business type is takeaway or sandwich shop. That should be the one which is selected. Then for hygiene, there are different things: major improvement necessary and urgent improvement necessary. So there are no matches with these two. Maybe just note this one also. And for confidence, also those two. There is one that matches. So the guy should buy this one, should take over this one, juice and bagel. This is the only one that matches criteria. So
Okay.
yeah,
Very
basically
nice.
that's
Well, in terms of nailing the answer, you hit it right on the head. So there was one shop that was ready in these terms to take over, and you found it. So that's very admirable. And it was fun to see the way that you actually also worked in a completely different way than Will with the data. And when we get to Rishi, it's a third way of actually approaching the data. That's very, very interesting, I think. And I hope that the others watching this have some enlightenment on this.
Yeah.
So thank you for that. And the report actually
thanks.
looks quite well as well.
Okay.
Apart from that pie chart.
Yeah,
That's a good one.
absolutely. So
So Rishi, you want to round off?
Yeah, sure. So Anthony will be pleased to know that I'm not doing a map. That's a good question. Yeah, all I've got on here then is just basically we've got, first thing we just need to do is a number of venues. Yeah, so it's just count rows of our fact table, essentially, because it's one row per venue. Let's say it's one to many on one of these, a lot of these anyway, actually. And we've got the one to many going on here. So this is kind of like a junk fact table. The really good thing with Power BI as well, when you've got URLs, which we have here, is that you can literally just create a table, just set the data types in here as column type, data category, either web URL or image URL, and then in the table just say to show URL icons. So that's it. There's literally no other step that it needs. So as soon as you set those, you can see the images from the URL. So it goes to that image URL and it gives you the URL for the actual venue. Then we've got just our slicers. So we've got audience, and we can filter down those for the audience to see which ones we need to do there, or keywords. So these are all of the keywords that we did. So we did a bidirectional there just to hack this together to be able to get all our keywords there and see any that contain this keyword. Although they actually seem to be I don't think this keyword thing has worked particularly well because I think it just picked out specific things on the keywords. I think I needed to use that keywords field actually. But
yes.
Yeah, so now we've got the icon map visual. So icon map is developed by James Dales, who's by manager at Avanade, but also very, very good with mapping. He did a session here today on mapping. Actually, I didn't attend it. Yeah, we've got then longitude and latitude. So now we should be able to go into here and do average of longitude, average of latitude. I wonder if this will work. I have absolutely no idea if it will. And we need to do the size. Size again, I don't think it really matters what we have on here. Oh dear. Okay, that's not done it well at all. Yeah, okay. Yeah, let me just do it as a normal map and see. I think maybe we have some simpler options.
You have the average of longitude, latitude.
Yeah, it's average. Yeah, it's done. It's the average automatically, actually. But let's just do it as a normal map. Where's the normal map one?
Left one.
Do not summarize. Yeah. Location. Where do I change it to not summarize?
On average.
On average. Do not summarize. Yeah. So there you go. Yeah.
Oh, actually, it will complain because you've got location, but we take location out.
Okay. Haven't used this map in a long time. Just the title.
Just go to. You don't need anything on title. Just turn it into a table.
Yeah.
So you're actually getting any data. Yeah, that's fine. That should be fine.
Are those valid?
Did you provide the data attribute data type if you go into tables?
Sorry, say that again, sorry?
Maybe data types.
Yes, if you go into tables.
No, I don't think. I don't think we need to put it as a. I mean, we've got addresses, but we'd have to use something that does geocoding then if we wanted to do it with addresses. So we should be able to use longitude and latitude if we've got them, but maybe those longitude and latitude look a bit dodgy.
You don't need to mark them as longitude and latitude?
No.
You don't need to.
No, okay,
I mean, we
okay.
can do, but I mean, I don't think we need to. Should still work. Yeah, set the data category. Put it to work now. Let's see if the plots don't. We don't need anything in location.
No.
Do we then?
Yeah.
No.
That's not perfect.
Something we do something in size and ID here. So let me just do a quick measure to just say size. Okay, it's doing something. Let's do one. Okay, I need to do the average. Obviously, that would help. So, still giving me.
You're ending up in Madagascar again, right?
I ended up in the wrong place of the world. So.
Yeah. So
I know,
something in the conversion.
Maybe I did longitude latitudes all the way around. I don't know. Is that
I
possible?
wouldn't know.
Maybe.
I mean, let me just
Could
sort
be.
them over. Go on, sort the fields over in the thing. But
I didn't think so.
I don't think it's that.
I don't think it's that either. No, I'm still some advanced. I've got some advanced. Actually, no. I think that most of them are advanced. They're just
Yes.
there's a few that. Okay, cool. So now we've got those, and we can actually show those. I wonder if we could show those as images. The images, probably not.
Oh, I'd like to.
With a yeah, quite big images, aren't they? But essentially, we've got a map here. The pie chart. Do you know what? I'm actually with a pie chart. It's absolutely terrible to show this many values. So what I'm going to do is just go into our venue details, and I'm just going to add a kind of flag to say, does this contain public adolescents or infant? Does it accept children or adults? So let's just do that in here. Actually, let me just do it back really quickly. So venue details. Let's just add in here. So now we can do maybe let's add a conditional column. So if audience contains let's do then adults. I mean, obviously, you'd probably do this logic a little bit better. I don't know what to public means.
Everyone.
Everyone.
Everyone. Okay, there you go.
I just do otherwise.
Yeah, fine. Yeah, it's good. Yeah, right, but yeah, exactly. Adults, everyone, otherwise, others. Just do that. So you've got three categories, but we'll just call this audience category. Get to SharePoint. SharePoint's not the best location to get your data from.
Yeah, you'll regret putting it there, aren't you?
Yeah. But still, I still think it's better than
It's a really good,
local
really
drive.
good hint. I hadn't thought of doing that. It's a good call.
Cool. Okay, so now we've got everyone, adults and others. So now we can start to filter on those venues that accept others, on audience, and we've got the URLs, got the details. We can actually remove these, right? So we can exclude these ones that are not in fonts as well, and hopefully that will. There's only two of them, yeah, exactly. So now you go. Now we've got our. That's much better. Yes. Now we've got our actual map in fonts. And yeah, if you wanted to use icon map, and we could actually. I mean, actually, let me show you how let me just talk through quickly how I do that. Right. So one of the things we can do for showing shapes is we can just get a topo.json file. So if we do say topo.json fonts, let's have a look at that. So maybe this is a topo.json for fonts. And then we can actually create a topo file as well. So there's this file called map shaper. And yeah, so here's where then we can actually extract our topo.json file, or we can get geo.json. We can actually get, upload our files, create our topo.json, or we could find one potentially as well. And then in here, what we could do is once we get to this map, and if we're using icon map here, we can actually start to put in our geo.json. So we can actually host the URL, put it in there, and then it will actually give you all the shapes. And you can have different hierarchies. So you can start to do it by state and region, and really then drill down and obviously have conditional formatting of colors to say, here's in this state, we've got 10 venues that have, accept paid events. So, we can actually do something like that as well, and start to highlight, how many accept paid values or not. So actually, that was supposed to be one of our flags, wasn't it? So does accept paid. So maybe this. We only wanted to see the ones that have paid actually. So I think let's actually do that in here. So on this visual, we only actually wanted those that have paid, that accept paid events. Because if our event is paid, we don't really care about the venues that don't accept paid events. So actually, we can even do this as a page level filter. Actually, how do we do that? We really don't care about those. I don't know why I've got some of these other ones as well. I didn't see that with the data. Anyway,
I can explain some of them.
Okay, yeah, if you want to, feel free.
No, I mean, in the interest of time, we are well behind schedule. I was hoping you would pick up on there is a single location in Paris that is currently hosting a Lego Expo. And
I can see that, yeah.
We're trying to channel in on that, but yeah.
I went to
there's an awful lot of dots on the Paris map.
The Legoland is closed here.
Yeah, it's very dark closed there as well.
Yeah, exactly.
It's just they don't have that. Yeah.
With that, I mean, it has been amazing to watch how you work with these CSV files in 3 completely different ways, which was more different than I anticipated. So, but that's all good, because that's just showing that everyone can actually, have their own style about it and go, their way. But one of the key takeaways was maybe the star schema thought that went into Rishi's approach. And obviously, due to time constraints, some corners were cut along the way. And but I think it's admirable to mention that the star schema is actually the aim of most of these exercises in Power BI, Power Query, to end up in such a star schema. Now, Will showed some new approaches into actually going the data quality road, showing that pane up front and actually analyzing the data with using that in Power BI, which I think is very enlightening because I haven't used that approach. Nicola was very tedious on going through the data before he actually loaded anything, and that's also one lesson: know your data. I mean, if you know all of the quirks in your data, you're way better off analyzing when you see failures in the reports. And Rishi, of course, is mentioning some of the basic principles, star schema, and so on. Unfortunately, you didn't hone in on the Lego event that I kind of had at the end. Yeah, but okay.
There you go, Super Lego. No, Super Ego, not Super Ego. There you go. Yeah, right.
So if you've used the keywords column, it would have been somewhat easier, I think.
Yeah.
But you showed us something completely different, and that's very, very nice.
Cool. Brilliant.
I can't imagine the courage it takes for you to step up for this assignment. It's really nerve-wracking, I think, maybe for some, to expose the way they work with 50 people watching. And so I thank you deeply for that. I'm not sure how much longer you will be in the Power BI community, Will, but thank you for this. Still interest in this. I'm not sure where you're moving on to.
Yeah, I'm not going too far. You'll see me.
Okay, good. Very nice. And to Rishi and Nicola, also thank you for stepping up. You were my initial choice, and you all replied yes. And I'm very, very happy that you did. So thank you for that. And I apologize for being 20 minutes over time, but I think everybody got some takeaways from the session. So thank you.
Thank you for inviting us. Thanks.
Yeah, thanks everyone. Thanks, bye.
Have a great day, everyone. Bye bye.
Yeah, have a great day and have a great conference, everyone.